Greetings and welcome to the 10th episode of Morrowind Modding Manors, where we take a look at a variety of households around the lands of Ardenfell as we try and find your dream home in the lovely Dunmere province of Morrowind. As always, I'm your host, Dark Elf Guy, and after a long hiatus, we're, finally back with another 3 households for your viewing pleasure, once again centered around the Ascadian Isles region, with a variety of Holiday-style homes for you to check out. And there's some, really nice ones in today's lineup. But of course, first things first, you'll find down the links for all the mods shown here down in the video description below. And first up, we have Your Home in the Ascadian Isles by Shakeidas. And this is a really nice and beautiful Holiday-style home along the road outside of the great temple city of Icepick in the Ascadian Isles region. And you'll note that just from the exterior here, that this home is really, rather nicely detailed, with a lot of lanterns, ivy and windows. This home really, lights up nicely in the night time and evening hours especially. And of course it has a rooftop balcony where you can enjoy some scenic views to the Ascadian Isles region, including the city of Icepick there in the distance. Though granted, you'll need distant land for that, but either way, this is just a really lovely and scenic setting. Now you can see this home on the map here, and it's basically right outside the city of Icepick, with a pretty short commute overall. You'll need to walk a bit to get into town, but it isn't too bad. And going inside, you'll find a small but extremely cluttered home to call your own, with a first floor that's dedicated pretty much entirely to storage and display space, with tons of chests, crates, barrels, and sacks to stuff your loot into as you so desire, as well as some bookshelves and other shelving units for displaying a few of your own items. And there's also a table here in the back that you can also use. There's also a practice dummy with a small training area in here, but of course this dummy isn't actually animated, so you can't actually, hit him or anything. He's just there for cosmetic purposes. And up on the second floor, you'll find a rather cozy and atmospheric master bedroom. And you just really have to appreciate the dynamic lighting in here. This is a really colourful home with a lot of blue and red lanterns. But anyway, there's a bit of storage in here, as well as a secret little treasure room off to the side where you can, store items away from, prying eyes or would-be thieves. And now going up to the third floor, you'll find a study with a desk, bookshelf, and a few small chests for various odds and ends, like, writing utensils and ink, as well as a few other containers. And, this would probably be a good place to store some of your books. And heading up to the final floor here, you'll find some more storage and display space with lots of containers, like barrels and chests. And, this is just a really nicely decorated home with, again, atmospheric lighting, ivy, and while it is, cluttered with a ton of containers, it still manages to leave a ton of space for you to add your own touch if you so desire. And all in all, this is a really nice home with an atmospheric and cozy design, lots of storage space, some really scenic views to the Ascadian Isles region, and a fair amount of display space as well. And it doesn't really have any other convenience features though, other than a short commute to Icepick. But if you're, looking for a modest size and cluttered home to call your own, this is a great mod to check out. And next up, we have 2 Moon Manor by Ratt. And this is a rather simple and straightforward Holiday-style manor added to the slopes of the city of Saran. And fair warning, this is a conflict-heavy location. The Morrowind Abodes collection that we've showcased before also adds a house to the exact same spot. And also more detailed places 2013 and the Saran expansion mods, like Saran Extended and Saran Expanded, will also conflict with it. But anyway, there's not much to see on the exterior here. Aside from a balcony with some nice views of town. And just checking out the map real quick, this home is pretty much smack dab in the middle of Saran, with basically no commute whatsoever, and right along a row of shops for convenience, so you can easily, drop by and sell your goods. And going inside, you'll find, surprisingly enough, a Velothi-style interior, with a large entry hall that connects all the various rooms of this abode to one central chamber. And there's a rather nice and scenic garden here in the middle that, helps bring this room together. And now the first room that we're actually going to be taking a look at here is the display hall, which is a modest, set of chambers that includes a number of display cases for you to use to, show off your loot and all that, as well as armor display mannequins that you can, equip with any clothing, armor, or shields that you might find out on your adventures. And these work much the same way as, most armor mannequin mods out there. And down in the basement, you'll find a small pool, including some of, I believe these are Lord Yig's fantasy wall hangings, and a diving board, so you can, take a running leap into the water and enjoy a nice relaxing swim within, the safety of your own home. And next we have the dining room, which is a really fancy looking place with a large and long banquet table that, can seat quite a few dinner companions. The table's already been set with dishes, and there's a number of rich furnishings in here, not to mention a couple of armored display mannequins in the corners, so you can, impress your guests of your wealth. And towards the back here, you'll find a small kitchen with a cooking fireplace and counters where you can, prepare food, as well as a sink, which is a rather nice little, creative touch in here. And there's also a small pub area where you can, go to lounge about with a table for guests. And it's rather well stocked with a lot of drinks, including a bit of storage in the back here. And finally, there's a set of personal quarters towards the back of the manor here, including an alchemy lab with a set of alchemical equipment. And, this looks like a massive set of equipment, which might be a bit overpowering, given that this is, after all, a free home that you can just walk into and immediately move into. But anyway, there's also some bookshelves down here for displaying items. And going upstairs, you'll find the master bedroom, which includes another lovely set of gardens in here. A bed, of course, a bit more storage for things like clothing and the like. A lounge area with a roaring fireplace, and an overall just, cozy set of chambers for you to live in. And in conclusion, this is a rather nice mid-sized abode with a lot of display and storage space, as well as an alchemy lab, pool, display hall, former display mannequins, one service NPC, and also just a really short commute into town, making it really easy to take items from your home down to the ye old pawn shop. And if you're looking for a nice but, not overwhelming place to stay in Saran, you might want to give this mod a try. And finally, our third mod is Eylurian Manor by Icepick. And now this is actually a home that you'll need to, purchase first before you can move in. You'll find the owner standing here outside, and you can buy it from him for about 15,000 gold, which is a fairly reasonable price for, just the sheer size of the place, though it might set you back a bit. And just flying around the exterior a bit here, this is a rather large walled-in compound with a main manor house and a couple of attached guard towers that have roof access with views looking out towards the city of Vivec there, over in the distance. And there's also a bit of a garden here in the courtyard, which is, all rather scenic looking, though the author did mess up the exterior a bit. These walls should really be lowered into the ground a bit more. And real quick, you can see this home on the map here, and it really isn't that far, outside of Vivec, basically a very short walk outside the foreign quarter, so it really isn't a very long commute at all. And going inside, you'll find a fairly massive main entry hall, with a number of decorative trees to help liven up the place a bit. But otherwise, this again rather large hall is fairly sparse in terms of furnishings and decorations. You have a few tables, bookshelves, and podiums off in various corners where you can display items and the like. There's also a number of armored display mannequins in here. They're fairly different from the mannequins that you might be used to in other mods, using companion share instead of, scripts to function. And they also have an action pose they can take, which is a bit odd. But other than that, right off the main entry hall here is a storage room with a number of crates and chests for you to, throw your items into, as well as some more shelves if you need more space for displaying items. There's obviously a lot of open space in this house, and you'll probably want a furniture mod to help, fill it in a bit. But anyway, heading on upstairs, you'll find the master bedroom here, which is again quite spacious with a lot of open space that could use filling. But what you'll find that's already included here is a small lounge with a fireplace, a bed of course, a study area with a table and chair, and just a modest amount of storage. And now one of the unique things about this mod is how you can purchase additional expansions to add onto it, namely in the basement. And you can buy these from this contractor in Vivec, and he has about 5 different rooms that you can purchase, including an alchemy lab, training room, display hall, and so on and so forth. And each of these will cost about 6,000 gold, which when combined with the base price of 15,000 gold, brings the total cost of this home to just north of 40,000 gold to, build everything. And the first part of these expansions that we'll be taking a look at is the training room, which, much like every other room in this house, is a rather large space, with a number of weapons along the walls and tables here for you to practice with, as well as 2 animated practice dummies, one for practicing melee weapons, and one for ranged weapons. And next we have the alchemy lab, which is fully stocked, including a number of ingredients and a master set of alchemical equipment. But since you do have to, actually pay for this upgrade, that's not quite as overpowering as it was in the, other mod that we just looked at today. There's also, of course, some more storage in here, and there's a fair bit of, storage space included in this mod just in general. And now the last room that we're going to be looking at here is the display hall, which is a rather large, if somewhat bare set of chambers full of armor display mannequins that you can use to, again, show off clothing or armor, or, even weapons if you so desire. And overall, this is rather expensive, but, nice looking Hladu-style manor in the Ascadian region, with expansions that you can purchase, as well as lots of display and storage space, armor display mannequins, and an alchemy lab. And it also has a short commute to Vivek, but it will set you back a fair bit, with, all these upgrades costing about 40,000 gold in total. But still, if you're looking for a home that you can purchase, and, like having some bare space and your own touch, you might want to check this one out. And that wraps up our episode of Morrowind Modding Manors. Again, you'll find download links down in the video description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.